Okay, so we're going to talk about AI, but probably not in the way you're used to. See, this isn't really about the tech itself, it's about something much bigger, a once in a lifetime career reset, a moment that's inviting all of us to completely rethink who we are and where we're headed. Let's dive in. This quote from Alexander Manu just hits it right on the head, doesn't it? It really sets the stakes. The whole conversation around AI isn't really about if you should engage with it, it's about what happens if you don't. The choice isn't about being authentic versus not. It's about being relevant or, well, being left behind. So much of the talk around AI is just drenched in fear, the beginning of the end, right? But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? What if this isn't the beginning of the end, but actually the end of the beginning? The end of this long, long setup phase for humanity. And now we can finally start asking some totally new questions. To really get this, we have to understand why AI is fundamentally different from any piece of technology that's ever come before it. Seriously, it's not just a faster car or a better wrench. It actually changes the definition of what a technology even is. Think about it like this. The cup was an answer to, hey, how do I carry water? The chair was an answer to, how can I sit down without being on the ground? For all of human history, our tech has given us solutions, answers. But AI? AI is different. It doesn't show up with an answer, it shows up with a question. And this is the question. It's not asking, what task can I perform for you? It's asking, what do you want to become? That's a philosophical question. It's a direct invitation for us to evolve. And a question that powerful? Well, it's enough to unravel the world as we know it. Okay, the great unraveling sounds a little dramatic, I know, but it's really just the natural result of AI asking that huge question. The very foundations of our world are being challenged, and honestly, it's happening whether we're ready for it or not. Of course, people being skeptical of new tech, that's a story as old as time. When the telephone patent was offered to Western Union, they literally called it idiotic. In the 80s, people scoffed, who's going to carry a phone around? And yeah, in 2007, a major tech publication famously predicted the iPhone would bomb. We have a very, very long history of getting this stuff wrong. And guess what? We're doing the exact same thing today. All the dismissive chatter about things like XR glasses or ambient computing, this idea that our whole environment becomes our interface, it's just the same pattern playing out all over again. We keep looking at the future through the glasses of today, and we keep missing the point. So what gets left in the dust during this unraveling? Well, according to Manu, some pretty big things are on the chopping block. The smartphone, this object we have to physically reach for, will be replaced by information that just finds us. Mass consumerism? Obsolete. And right along with it, the entire world of influencers and social media as we know it today. But why the influencer? Why does that model just collapse? Well, think about what an influencer actually does. Their entire power comes from getting millions of people to want the exact same thing. But in a future of hyper-personalization where AI can help you design a world that is totally unique to you, that whole logic just falls apart. Technology stops being about telling you who to copy and starts being about helping you be you. Okay, so if the old world is coming apart at the seams, what are we building to take its place? This is where we get to the really exciting, optimistic part of this vision. It's something called the narrative economy. Now, to get your head around this new economy, we have to separate two words that we use interchangeably all the time, labor and work. They are not the same thing. Labor is all the chores, the grinding tasks we do just to survive. AI is pretty much here to take care of that. But work? Work is about creating meaning. It's art, it's culture, it's the stuff we make that proves we were even here. That's the human stuff. So, in this narrated economy, the rules of value get completely flipped on their head. The most valuable person is no longer the one with the technical, hands-on skills to build something. Nope, it's the narrator, the person who can best describe an intent, a vision, a feeling. The why and the what suddenly become way more important than the how. Here is a perfect concrete example. A fashion designer, right? They have impeccable taste, a totally unique vision. In the past, they couldn't design a house because they didn't know anything about architecture or structural engineering. But in the narrated economy, their vision is the real asset. They just have to describe the feeling they want the home to have, and the AI handles all the math and the physics. And just like that, taste becomes this universal, transferable skill. The whole creative process gets rewired. It's now a collaboration, a partnership. Step 1, you, the human, articulate your intent. Step 2, the AI acts as your translator. It does the heavy lifting, makes the math work. And then, step 3, what comes out the other side is often something beautiful and totally unexpected, something neither you nor the AI could have possibly come up with on your own. And this is where it all comes back home. We've been talking about these huge, abstract concepts, but the real impact, the real takeaway, it's deeply, deeply personal. AI is a direct, personal invitation for you to reinvent yourself. And that leads us to the identity crisis, right at the heart of all this. For 150 years, we have answered the question, who are you, with our job title. I'm a writer, I'm a manager, I'm an accountant. When AI makes those labels less and less important, who are we then? You know, it's funny when you actually ask people what the meaning of life is, look at the answers you get. It's about evolving, connecting, finding peace, having meaningful experiences. Not a single person's gut instinct is to say, oh, my purpose is to produce widgets or to consume products or to work a 9 to 5. Deep down, we already know we're more than our labor. And it's so important to remember that this whole I am my job thing, it's not some timeless human truth. It's actually a pretty recent invention. It really kicked off with the Industrial Revolution, when we basically became human extensions of the machines we were operating. It was never meant to be a permanent state of being. And this is the profound shift. A steam engine doesn't work without a person shoveling coal. A car doesn't work without a driver. But for the very first time in history, AI lets the machine run by itself. It uncouples us from being its operator, and that frees us up, and kind of forces us to figure out who we are without it. So how are we supposed to approach this thing? Well, not like it's just another tool. Think of it as a collaborator. A hammer does exactly what you tell it to. It doesn't have an opinion. An AI, on the other hand, can offer a totally different perspective, a new idea. It has, in a way, an opinion based on everything it's learned. And that changes the entire game. Ultimately, the best advice might just be the simplest. Before you get to the fear, before the anxiety, before any of that, just take a second to be in awe, to really appreciate that we are living through a philosophical and cultural shift on a scale that is just incredible. Which brings us right back around to the most important question of all, the one AI is asking you personally right now. It's not about what you can do anymore. It's about who you can be. What else can you become?